Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today's video is the fifth one from a series of videos on the history of English literature. Today we are going to have a brief discussion on the definition of Renaissance, the concept of humanism and other main characteristics of the age. Let's discuss the definition of Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth or renewal, and the renewal or rebirth of classical learning that was either ignored or forgotten during the Middle Ages. So basically, this was the period of European cultural, artistic, political, and economic rebirth. And because during the classical period, learning and respect for the individual was the key element, so therefore, Renaissance possessed the same feature. Renaissance was a time of transition from the ancient world to the modern world. So, Renaissance period is also taken as the bridge between the ancient world and the modern world. Basically, it began in Italy in the 14th century as an intellectual and cultural movement and then spread to the entire Europe. Renaissance was a revival of classical learning. Classical learning means the revival of the study of ancient Greek and Latin writers, mathematicians, and philosophers. And it was a flowering of arts and culture that started in Italy and then spread throughout Europe. And scholars started to focus less on Christian related writings and more on pre Christian art and thought. Students, the concept of humanism was closely related to the concept of Renaissance, as along with the renewed cultural interest in all the things classical, there came a fresh concentration on all the things human. As Renaissance men, they were full of curiosity regarding humankind and they pondered over human condition and they sought to find the answers of these questions, such as what motivates or inspires, angers or pleases people, what makes them good or bad, what is the nature of human life, is it monumentally important or completely insignificant. सो जिस तरह डार्क एजेस में या जो medieval एज है उसमें वो यूनिवर्स हमें एक थियोसेंट्रिक यूनिवर्स लगती थी, मींस गॉड और रिलीजन वाज टेकन एज अ सेंटर ऑफ यूनिवर्स. इन ह्यूमनिज्म मैन वाज कंसिडर्ड बेसिकली द सेंटर ऑफ यूनिवर्स. So the importance of individual was there during the Renaissance period. Michael Ray explained humanism in these words that I quote, the ideal of the Renaissance man embodied the basic tenets of Renaissance humanism, which considered man the center of the universe, limitless in his capacities for development, and led to the notion that men should try to embrace all knowledge and develop their own capacities as fully as possible. Thus, the gifted men of the Renaissance sought to develop skills in all areas of knowledge, in physical developments, in social accomplishments, and in the arts. I unquote. उर्दू में एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ मैं कि आइडियल जो रेनेसा मैन का आइडियल है उसमें रेनेसा ह्यूमनिज्म के बेसिक जो टेनेट्स या प्रिंसिपल्स हैं वो भी मौजूद हैं. और इसके मुताबिक मैन को कंसिडर किया गया द सेंटर ऑफ द यूनिवर्स, या ये कि मैन अपनी कैपेसिटीज़ फॉर डेवलपमेंट में लिमिटलेस है, यानी उसकी जो तरक्की की सलाहियतें हैं उनकी कोई हद नहीं है. और ये चीज़ इस तस्वुर की तरफ लेके गई कि इंसान को चाहिए कि वो हर तरह का नॉलेज एक्वायर करे और अपनी कैपेसिटीज़ को मुकम्मल तौर पर डेवलप करे. तो रेनेसा के जो गिफ्टेड या टैलेंटेड लोग थे उन्होंने हर फील्ड में अपनी स्किल्स को डेवलप किया, चाहे वो नॉलेज की फील्ड है, चाहे फिज़िकल डेवलपमेंट है, चाहे सोशल अकम्पलिशमेंट है, चाहे आर्ट्स है. तो ये चीज़ ये आइडिया उनके माइंड में कि इंसान के अंदर अपने आप को ग्रूम करने और डेवलप करने की लामहदूद सलाहियत मौजूद है, उसने इंसान को नॉलेज और हर तरह की स्किल्स को एक्वायर करने के काबिल बनाया. Students, if we look at David Deschy's remarks regarding humanism, according to him, humanism had four important aspects: the scholarly, the stylistic, the ethical, and the secular. According to the scholarly aspect, it was concerned with the recovery of the accurate text of the classical writers. स्टाइलिस्टिक एस्पेक्ट के अकॉर्डिंग जो लिटरेरी क्रिटिसिज्म है उसकी एप्लीकेशन वर्नैकुलर लिटरेचर पर हुई, ये ह्यूमनिज्म का स्टाइलिस्टिक एस्पेक्ट था। एथिकल एस्पेक्ट के अकॉर्डिंग जो ग्रीक और रोमन थॉट के हाईएस्ट आइडियल्स थे उनको कहा गया कि अडॉप्ट किया जाना चाहिए और इनको क्रिश्चियन टीचिंग के साथ कंबाइन होना चाहिए। और सेकुलर एस्पेक्ट ये कि मिडिवल एज में जो सेंटर ऑफ यूनिवर्स कंसिडर किया जाता है गॉड को या रिलीजन को, बट इन रेनेसां मैन वाज कंसिडर्ड एज द सेंटर ऑफ यूनिवर्स with all his limitless potentialities and talents. Now let's discuss the general characteristics of Renaissance. व्यूज़ एंड वैल्यूज़ की जहाँ तक बात है तो ह्यूमनिज्म, इंडिविजुअलिज्म, एनर्जी, ऑप्टिमिज्म, सेल्फ अवेयरनेस और प्राइड इन नेशन, ये वैल्यूज़ और व्यूज़ एग्जिस्ट करते थे। रेनेसां हीरो अगर देखा जाए लिटरेचर में तो वो मल्टी टैलेंटेड हीरो हुआ करता था, सेल्फ डेवलपिंग, ऑनरेबल, वेल एजुकेटेड, गुड एट फाइटिंग एज वेल एज पॉलिटिक्स। जैसे कि ह्यूमनिज्म के अकॉर्डिंग मैन हैज़ लिमिटलेस पोटेंशियल एंड टैलेंट, सो रेनेसां हीरो को भी इस तरह का मैन दिखाया गया जो कि एक वक्त में बहुत सी स्किल्स और टैलेंट्स पोजेस करता है। और लिटरेचर की थीम्स जो हैं दे वर रिलेटेड टू ह्यूमन प्राइड, एम्बिशन, time, death, and religious subjects. Noble authors of the age included Sir Philip Sidney, who was born in 1554 and died in 1586. He was notable for producing poetry as well as writing literary criticism. Edmund Spenser was born in 1552 and 1599. He was entitled as the Prince of Poets, and his remarkable invention was the invention of nine-line stanza. The Fairy Queen and Shepherd's Calendar are his famous works. Then Sir Walter Raleigh, who was born in 1552 and died in 1618. He wrote poetry as well as prose. The Lie and The Soul's Errand are his famous poems. Christopher Marlowe was born in 1564 and died in 1593. He was the first great dramatist of the time, and though he lived a short life, he wrote some powerful tragedies which are counted among the great works of English stage. He showed originality both in choice of subject matter and the use of blank verse. His powerful blank verse strengthens the drama, and the development of character heightens the sense of tragedy. Certainly, Marlowe's writings sets an example for other dramatists in the great Elizabethan age. Then another important author of the time was Sir Francis Bacon, who was born in 1561 and died in 1626. He is one of the most famous prose writers of the time, and he is also known as the father of the English prose. He wrote books both in English and Latin. His aphoristic prose style is very popular. His essays are full of remarkable thoughts. He could express great ideas in short and effective sentences. His famous books are the Essays, The Advancement of Learning, The History of Henry VII, and The New Atlantis. I hope students today's video was informative. Wish you all the best. Allah Hafiz.